Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about a new feature which is released by the Business Central version 17.3. So this is a cool feature. In the previous video, I talked about the differences between the general ledger, between the global dimensions and the shortcut dimensions. And you could see in your general ledger setup, you have the two global dimensions, and the two global dimensions are default to the first two shortcut dimensions, and you can set up an additional 6 shortcut dimensions. So I also talk about there are some limitations for the shortcut dimensions, like you do not see the shortcut dimensions in the ledger entries table. So, but that's a case for the demonstration I was doing in that video is the Business Central version 14. So in that version, you still do not have this feature. So in this video, I want to talk about a new feature which is available in the Business Central version 17.3. So you could see this was made available to general availabilities on January the 11th, 2021. So this is only in January this year. And then, so you have this ability is like if you set up the shortcut dimension in the general ledger setup, and then you will be able to use it to filter your general ledger entries, your customer ledger entries, and vendor ledger entries. Then you can export it through editing Excel. Then you can make further analysis. Yeah, so that's a cool feature, I think. So let's go back to our Business Central. So I have additional shortcut dimensions set up here in the general ledger setup, lot number and cost tab. So now if, because this feature is already available in my version of Business Central, you can take a look what version I have. It's a 17.3, okay? So then as long as I set up there as a shortcut dimension in my general ledger setup, if I go to my general ledger entries, then you could see those dimensions are showing up now. But even there are shortcut dimensions, but you can see them in the ledger entries now. In the general ledger entries, vendor ledger entries, and customer ledger entries. So if I scroll to the right on this page, then you can see I have the lot number code, cost type code. So these are the two additional shortcut dimensions I set up in my general ledger setup. So this is cool. Then from here, you can click on page, click on editing Excel. When you export this to Excel, you could also see these two columns. So this is pretty cool. And then, okay, so if we go to the customer ledger setup or vendor ledger setup, well, my Excel spreadsheet is still open. So I'm going to my customer ledger entries, and then you could see those two columns for the shortcut dimensions show up on my customer ledger entries as well. So let me scroll to the right for this page, okay? And you could see those two columns, lot number code and cost type code, they show up under my customer ledger entries as well. Okay, so I'm going to my Excel because I click on editing Excel in my general ledger entries, and I would like to see how this exported Excel spreadsheet looks like from my general ledger entries. I would like to see those two columns, lot number code and cost type code, on this Excel spreadsheet as well. At the same time, while this is still loading, let's go to the vendor ledger entries to take a look. Vendor ledger entries. Okay. So then we click on this. Okay. And then we scroll to the right. So I like these new cool features of Microsoft for Business Central they released for Business Central. But another thing I think they have to focus is the user experience, because this Business Central, they keep on adding so many new features. Then this browser experience is not that user friendly. Sometimes your Business Central crashes. So you can see these two columns show up under my vendor ledger entries as well, these two shortcut dimensions. That's great. Let's go to our Excel spreadsheet. and have to sign in. So for edit in Excel, then it will give you all the entries. But if you use open in Excel, then whatever the filters you use on that page before you export to Excel will be the same filter on your Excel spreadsheet. But I'm using the editing Excel, so it will load all my general ledger entries. It will be a pretty big table. It may take some time. Okay, it's still updating. Let's see. You see, my shortcut dimensions show up, right? So this is great. As long as you set them up, then you will see them. You will see all of them in your general ledger setup and vendor ledger setup, and in your general ledger entries, and the vendor ledger entries and the customer ledger entries. You will see all those shortcut dimensions now. But previously, the shortcut dimensions does not exist in the ledger entries. Yeah, so this is a pretty good feature, and I think it's a cool feature for the Business Central, this Business Central version 17.3. Okay, thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. I hope to see you guys again next time.